Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's New York State Paid Family Leave webinar for Human Resource Professionals. I'm Pam Barnhart here with Jen Donovan from the Outreach Unit of the Workers' Compensation Board. And today's webinar will give you the tools needed to guide the employees you serve through the process of requesting and taking paid family leave. We ask you to please keep your phone lines muted as we'll be using the chat feature to receive your questions today. Please enter your questions throughout the presentation in the chat box located on the right-hand side of your screen. Use the drop-down to send your questions to the host or presenter. You can also hover over the WebEx tab at the top of your screen and click on Chat. Quinn Rapp-Ellis from the Board's Office of General Counsel is also here to help answer your questions. We will answer as many of your questions as we can, but if you have questions we don't get to today or think of something after the session ends, we'll be providing you with resources at the end of the presentation. Let's go ahead and get started. At this time, I will pass over to Jen for today's agenda.
Thanks, Pam. As human resources professionals, you play an important supporting role in navigating this benefit both for your employer and employees. In today's extended webinar for HR professionals, we will give you a refresher on New York Paid Family Leave and how it works, share important updates for 2019, review key employer responsibilities, address the top questions from HR professionals, and highlight the many resources available to you. Of course, we'll also leave plenty of time at the end to take any additional questions you may have. So let's go ahead and get started. Why do we need paid family leave? For too long, employees have struggled to maintain their job when they needed to care for a loved one during a specific time of need, whether that was welcoming a new baby, caring for a family member with a serious health condition, or dealing with family pressures when a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent is deployed abroad on active military service. These pressures can affect job performance and spill over into the workplace. Research shows that paid leave increases the likelihood that employees will return to work, which increases retention and ultimately lowers costs for employers. So New York took action. Governor Cuomo worked to develop the strongest and most comprehensive paid family leave in the nation. And in April 2016, paid family leave was signed into law. Paid family leave is employee-funded insurance that will help employees be there for their family when they're most needed. Workers across New York no longer have to choose between caring for their loved ones and their jobs, because we now have employee-paid insurance to help in these critical times. Paid family leave gives employers a predictable and defined structure for the time off employees take to handle their family situations. Paid family leave is insurance which is fully covered by employee contributions collected through a small weekly payroll deduction. As of January 1st, 2018, paid family leave provides job-protected, paid time off to employees who need time away from their jobs to bond with a newly born, adopted, or fostered child, care for a family member with a serious health condition, or assist loved ones when a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent is deployed abroad on active military service. In addition to paid time off, New York's paid family leave also has strong employee protections. Employees are guaranteed to return to the same or a comparable job after taking paid family leave. A comparable job is defined as a position with comparable employment benefits, pay, and other terms and conditions of employment. Employees are guaranteed continuation of health insurance on the same terms as if they had continued to work while out on paid family leave. If employees contribute to the cost of their health insurance, they must continue paying their portion of the premium while on leave. Employees are also guaranteed protection from discrimination and retaliation. Requesting or taking paid family leave cannot be held against them. Let's take a closer look at these three uses of paid family leave. We'll start with bonding with a child. Paid family leave provides both parents time to bond with a new child within the first 12 months of the birth, adoption, or foster placement of the child. This includes children born, adopted, or fostered in 2017, as long as the leave is taken within the first 12 months of the birth, adoption, or foster placement. Parents who work for different employers can take paid family leave at the same time to bond with the same child. Parents who work for the same employer can take it at the same time unless their employer prohibits it. In that case, they can take leave separately over the first 12 months following the child's birth, adoption, or foster placement. It's important to note that expectant mothers cannot take paid family leave for their own pregnancy. They can take it after their baby is born because paid family leave is used to care for family members. A parent may be able to take paid family leave before the actual adoption or placement of a child if an absence from work is required for the adoption or placement to be finalized. Paid family leave is also available for employees to care for a family member with a serious health condition, which we'll define in a moment. Employees can take time off to care for their sick spouse, domestic partner, child, stepchild, parent, parent-in-law, step-parent, grandparent, and grandchild. Siblings are not covered. To clarify, domestic partner is defined broadly under the paid family leave law. It includes people who are not related by blood in a manner that would bar marriage in New York State and are dependent on one another for support. For example, an employee may be able to prove that they're in a domestic partnership by showing that they own property together or have children in common. A legal relationship is not necessary. It doesn't matter if these family members live outside of New York State or even outside of the country. Employees can take paid family leave to care for their family member as long as they are within close and continuing proximity. In other words, present at the same location as the family member they're caring for during the majority of the paid family leave period. This includes travel for the purpose of securing medication or to arrange care for their family member and other activities related to providing care. In order to take this type of leave, the employee's family member must have a serious health condition. A serious health condition is defined as an illness, injury, or condition that requires either inpatient care in a hospital, hospice, or residential health facility, or continuing treatment or supervision by a healthcare provider. Here are some examples of a serious health condition. Perhaps an employee needs time off to provide emotional support for their mom when she undergoes chemotherapy. Or an employee's dad had surgery and needs help recuperating at home. Or an employee's child is undergoing treatment for addiction and cannot attend school for a period of time. These are situations that may qualify for paid family leave if certified by the patient's healthcare providers. For example, a physician, nurse practitioner, or clinical social worker. Non-serious medical conditions such as the common cold or flu, routine dental work, or cosmetic treatments are generally not included. However, if medical complications arise and a family member then meets the guidelines for a serious health condition, it may be eligible. The third type of leave is for assisting during a military deployment. Paid family leave benefits are available when employees have a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent on active service abroad or who has been notified of an impending call or order of active service abroad and family assistance is needed. Eligibility for paid family leave for an active service deployment is the same as the military provisions of the Federal Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA. They cover the employee's spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent. There are a number of instances where paid family leave will help, shown here. Now let's take a look at the specific benefits available to employees under paid family leave. Paid family leave provides time off benefits, which will be phased in over a 4-year period that began January 1st. This year, eligible employees can take up to 8 weeks of paid family leave. In 2019, employees can take up to 10 weeks of leave, and by 2021, they will be able to take up to 12 weeks of paid family leave. Employees can take this time off all at once or intermittently, but it must always be in full-day increments. For example, a new parent may choose to take their 8 full weeks all at once to bond with their child. An employee assisting family related to a military deployment may just need a few days per month to attend various meetings or make arrangements related to the deployment. Paid family leave also provides wage benefits that phase in over the same 4-year period. This year, eligible employees can receive 50% of their average weekly wage, capped at 50% of the New York State average weekly wage. In 2019, employees can receive 55% of their average weekly wage, capped at 55% of the New York State average weekly wage. The rate rises until 2021, when paid family leave pay benefits will reach 67% of an employee's average weekly wage, capped at 67% of the New York State average weekly wage. An employee's average weekly wage is based on their last 8 weeks of pay prior to taking paid family leave. The New York State average weekly wage for 2018, set from 2016, is about $1,305 per week, or $67,907 annually. In 2019, the New York State average weekly wage, set from 2017, is $1,357.11 per week, or $70,569 annually. Eligible employees can use the Wage Benefit Calculator at ny.gov/PFL Benefits Calculator to get an estimate of their weekly wage benefit. Now we'll review how paid family leave is funded. Paid family leave is an insurance policy, and employees pay for this coverage through a small payroll deduction, which is a percentage of their weekly wage up to a cap set annually. The 2018 payroll contribution is 0.126% of an employee's weekly wage, and is capped at an annual maximum of $85.56. If an employee earns less than the New York State average weekly wage of about $1,305 per week, they will have an annual contribution amount less than the cap of $85.56, consistent with their actual weekly wages. For example, if an employee earns $27,000 this year, or $519 a week, they will pay about 65 cents per week for paid family leave. The deduction will be changing for 2019, which I'll cover a little bit later in this presentation. To estimate employee deductions, you can use the Payroll Deduction Calculator at ny.gov/PFL Calculator. Now that we've covered the types of leave, the benefits, and the costs, let's discuss who is eligible to take paid family leave. Most private employers with 1 or more employees are required to have paid family leave insurance for their employees. Public employers may opt into the program. Employees of public employers who are represented by a union may be covered if paid family leave is collectively bargained. For covered employees, eligibility for taking paid family leave depends on meeting specific requirements for the amount of time employees have worked for their employer. Full-time employees who regularly work 20 or more hours per week are eligible for paid family leave after 26 consecutive weeks of employment with the same employer. Part-time employees who work a regular schedule of less than 20 hours per week are eligible after working 175 days, which do not need to be consecutive. Citizenship or immigration status is not a factor in employee eligibility. Paid family leave is not optional for eligible employees. Employees can waive coverage if they regularly work fewer than 20 hours per week and won't work 175 days in a year, or if they regularly work 20 or more hours per week but won't be in employment 26 consecutive weeks. Seasonal workers are a good example of this, as they may work full-time but for only 3 months out of the year. If an employee meets the criteria for waiving coverage, the employer must provide them with a waiver form, which is also available on the Paid Family Leave website. If an employee waives coverage, they will not make contributions and will not be eligible for paid family leave benefits. Employers should keep a copy of an employee's waiver on file. If an employee's schedule changes such that they no longer qualify for a waiver, their waiver will be automatically revoked within 8 weeks of the schedule change. An employee can also voluntarily revoke a waiver at any time. If an employee's waiver is revoked, their employer will begin taking paid family leave contributions and collect any retroactive amounts due. Now we'll cover how employees request paid family leave and the employer's role in the process. The maximum benefit will be available to employees once every 52 weeks. Please note that the 52 weeks are rolling. It is not based on a calendar year. Here's how the paid family leave request process works. Before applying, the employee must notify the employer at least 30 days before their leave will start, if it's foreseeable. Otherwise, they must notify their employer as soon as possible. Next, the employee will obtain the request form package for the type of leave they need to take and complete the Request for Paid Family Leave Form PFL-1 following the instructions on the cover sheet. They'll make a copy for their records and submit it to their employer. The employer must fill out their section of the form and return it to the employee within 3 business days. This information includes items such as the employer's address, FAIN number, employee's date of hire, and last 8 weeks of wages. If the employer does not complete their portion of the form, the employee can still submit the form and cannot be denied solely based on the employer not filling in their portion. Employees will submit Form PFL-1, the other request forms specific to the leave they are taking, and supporting documentation directly to the employer's insurance carrier. They can submit their request before or within 30 days after the start of their leave before they risk losing benefits. In most cases, the insurance carrier must pay or deny benefits within 18 days of receiving the completed request package or the employee's first day of leave, whichever is later. Employees can get paid family leave request forms from their employer's insurance carrier, or directly from paidfamilyleave.ny.gov/apply. If for some reason an employee's paid family leave request is denied, or they have another claim-related dispute, such as amount of benefits or timeliness of a carrier's decision, they may request to have the denial reviewed by a neutral arbitrator. The insurance carrier or employer of self-insured will notify the employee of the reason for denial and provide them with information about requesting arbitration. Arbitration for paid family leave is handled by National Arbitration and Mediation. More information on arbitration is available at nyspfla.com. As mentioned earlier, an employer may not discriminate against an employee for requesting or taking paid family leave, and an employee is guaranteed job protection with the same or comparable job upon return from paid family leave. If an employer does not return an employee to the same or comparable job, terminates the employee, reduces the employee's pay and/or benefits, or disciplines the employee in any way as a result of the employee requesting or taking paid family leave, the employee can file a discrimination claim with the Workers' Compensation Board. An administrative law judge may order an employer to reinstate an employee, pay any lost wages, pay attorney's fees, and pay up to $500 in penalties. The process and forms are available at paidfamilyleave.ny.gov, or employees can call the Paid Family Leave Helpline for assistance at 844-337-6303. As New York State prepares for the second year of our landmark paid family leave benefit, there are exciting updates to share. Starting January 1st, 2019, the number of weeks eligible employees can take to bond with a new child, care for a family member with a serious health condition, or assist loved ones when a spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent is deployed abroad on active military service increases to 10 weeks. The paid family leave wage replacement benefit is also increasing. In 2019, employees taking paid family leave will receive 55% of their average weekly wage, up to a cap of 55% of the current statewide average weekly wage of $1,357.11. The maximum weekly benefit for 2019 is $746.41. Each year, the Department of Financial Services sets the employee contribution rate to match the cost of coverage. With 2019 paid family leave benefits increasing to 10 weeks off at 55% of pay, the cost of coverage will rise slightly. For 2019, the employee contribution is 0.153% of an employee's gross wages each pay period. The maximum annual contribution is $107.97. Employees earning less than the current statewide average weekly wage of $1,357.11 will contribute less than the annual cap of $107.97, consistent with their actual wages. Here's a chart showing how 2019 benefit and rate changes will affect an employee making $1,000 a week. In 2018, an employee who earns $52,000 per year or $1,000 a week will pay $65.52 per year in paid family leave premiums, or $1.26 per week. In 2018, this employee will receive $500 per week for a maximum benefit of $4,000 over 8 weeks. In 2019, the same employee will pay $79.56 per year in paid family leave premiums, or about $1.53 per week. This employee would receive $550 per week and a maximum benefit of $5,500 over 10 weeks. Paid family leave was designed to be easy for employers to implement. I'll now walk you through a checklist of employer responsibilities. All private employers in New York State must now have paid family leave insurance. First, ensure that you have paid family leave insurance. If employers are required to carry disability insurance, they're also required to carry paid family leave. This insurance is generally added to an existing disability insurance policy. Employers who are self-insured for disability must purchase a separate paid family leave policy or apply to the New York State Workers' Compensation Board to self-insure. For a list of insurers offering paid family leave policies, visit the Paid Family Leave section of the Department of Financial Services website at dff.ny.gov/PFL. Second, inform your employees. Employee handbooks and/or other written guidance to employees should be updated to include information on paid family leave. To make this easy for employers, we have posted model language on the employer section of paidfamilyleave.ny.gov. Employers can customize it or just fill in a few blanks and print it as is. Third, collect payroll contributions. Employers should continue withholding at the 2018 rate until they reach the maximum or through the end of the year. Employers may begin withholding at the 2019 contribution rate starting January 1st, 2019. Number 4, offer waivers to employees who qualify for one. Employers should identify any employees who qualify for a waiver. These are employees who regularly work fewer than 20 hours per week and won't work 175 days in a year, or who regularly work 20 or more hours per week but won't be in employment 26 consecutive weeks. If an employee meets the criteria for waiving coverage, the employer must provide them with a waiver form. As we shared earlier, if an employee waives coverage, they will not make contributions and will not be eligible for paid family leave benefits. Employers should keep a copy of an employee's waiver on file. Finally, post an employee notice. Insurance carriers provide employers with a Notice of Compliance, or Form PFL 120, also known as Notice to Employees, stating they have paid family leave insurance and providing employees key information about the benefit. Self-insured employers can get this notice by contacting the New York State Workers' Compensation Board at certificates@wcb.ny.gov. Employers must post and maintain this notice in plain view, similar to how the signage for workers' compensation and disability insurance is displayed. Employers who receive a paid family leave claim must complete the employer section, Part B, of the request for paid family leave, Form PFL-1, and return it within 3 business days. The employer will be asked to provide the employee's last 8 weeks of gross wages and calculate the average weekly wage. Employers should be sure to discuss any specific leave tracking or other processes with their paid family leave insurer. There are a few frequently asked questions about paid family leave and other leave policies that may be helpful for you to know. How are paid family leave and FMLA similar? There are several similarities between New York's paid family leave and the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act. Both provide leave for bonding with a child, caring for a family member with a serious health condition, and assisting when a family member is deployed abroad on active military service. Employees are also guaranteed that they'll return to the same or a similar position, and their health insurance will continue on the same terms as if the employee had continued to work. If employees contribute to the cost of their health insurance, they must continue to pay their portion of the premium cost while on leave. But there are a number of key differences. Paid family leave is paid, FMLA is not paid. All private employers will carry paid family leave insurance. FMLA does not include insurance, and it has a 50-employee threshold for eligibility. The length of time an employee must work is different. In paid family leave, an employee who regularly works 20 or more hours a week must be in employment for 26 consecutive weeks for that employer, and an employee who regularly works fewer than 20 hours per week must work 175 days for the same employer, which do not need to be consecutive. For FMLA, employees must have worked for a full year and 1,250 hours in the last 52 weeks to qualify. The biggest distinction may be that under New York's paid family leave, an employee is taking the leave to care for someone else, not for their own health condition. FMLA allows employees leave for their own health condition. Paid family leave is only taken in full-day increments. FMLA may be taken hourly. Also, under paid family leave, employees do not need to use other paid time off first. So what about paid family leave and other types of leave? Employees cannot collect short-term disability and paid family leave benefits for the same period of time. A birth mother can, for example, take short-term disability if she qualifies and then take paid family leave. It's important to note that the total amount of time taken for disability and paid family leave cannot exceed 26 weeks in any 52-week period. Employees cannot collect paid family leave benefits while collecting workers' compensation benefits for a total disability. Employees who are on a reduced earnings schedule may still be eligible for benefits. We've spoken to many employers and HR professionals regarding paid family leave, and there have been a number of common questions that regularly come up, many around the 2018-2019 transition, which I'll review now. If an employee starts continuous leave in 2018 and it extends into 2019, are they eligible for the benefits at the 2019 rate and an extra 2 weeks? Employees get the benefit rate and number of weeks in effect on the first day of their leave. If an employee starts intermittent leave in 2018 and it extends into 2019, are they eligible for the benefits at the 2019 rate and an extra 2 weeks? Again, employees get the benefit rate and number of weeks in effect on the first day of a period of leave. When more than 3 months passes between days of paid family leave, the employee's next day or period of paid family leave is considered a new claim under the law. This means they will need to file a new request for paid family leave and that they may be eligible for the increased benefits available should this day or period of paid family leave begin in 2019. If an employee took his 8 weeks of bonding leave in 2018 and it's still within 12 months of the child's birth, is the employee eligible to take an additional 2 weeks of bonding leave in 2019, based on the 2019 benefit being 10 weeks? The answer is maybe, and this depends on whether or not it is considered a new period or claim for paid family leave. If days of leave are separated by more than 3 months, it is considered a new claim under the law. In that case, the employee may be able to fill out a new request for paid family leave and take another 2 weeks at the 2019 rate. Please keep in mind that all bonding leave must be completed within the first year of the child's life or placement for adoption or foster care. If a family member has an ongoing medical condition, a child with asthma, for example, and a healthcare provider has certified this as a lifetime condition, is there a point where new certification is required? The employee must apply for days of paid family leave or at least estimate those days. Additionally, if more than 3 months passes between days of paid family leave, it is considered a new claim under the law and a new request for paid family leave must be filed. For other questions about this, employees should contact their carrier because the carrier makes the decision to pay or deny benefits. What happens if an employer does not complete their section of the PFL-1 form and return it to the employee within 3 business days? The employee can move forward and submit the PFL-1 form they completed, along with the rest of their request package, directly to the insurance carrier. A request cannot be deemed incomplete solely because an employer did not complete Part B of the PFL-1 form. If the employer did not provide wage information, it is likely the insurance companies will use the wage information provided by the employee. Will the average weekly wage still be calculated using 8 weeks, or will it change to 10 weeks in 2019? The calculation for average weekly wage is set by regulation and will continue to be calculated using 8 weeks. How does holiday pay work with paid family leave? The interaction of holidays and paid family leave is not specifically mentioned in the paid family leave law or regulations. However, keep in mind that employees generally choose which days to take for paid family leave, and that a day of paid family leave is defined in the regulations as any full day in which the employee was prevented from performing work for the covered employer because the employee used paid family leave. Do we have to notify employees about the increase in benefit rate and amount for 2019? While there is no explicit requirement, it is strongly recommended that you notify your employees of this change. And please also keep in mind that you must have the PFL 271S available, which has information about the increased rate. What should an employer do with contributions if an employee leaves? Paid family leave deductions may only be taken at the rate set by DFS to pay your paid family leave premium. If an employee leaves employment, there is no requirement to return contributions to that employee, as contributions taken from them could only have been used to cover the cost of having that employee on your paid family leave policy. Please also keep in mind that the regulations require employers to promptly return any surplus of contributions to their employees when they have paid their annual premium for paid family leave. The paid family leave law and regulations do not specify how this is done. What if you already offer paid family leave? All covered employers are required to provide the statutory level of paid family leave benefits through an insurance policy from a carrier or a self-insurance policy. However, if an employer wants to provide more generous or enhanced benefits, for example, benefit with extended leave or more pay, they are free to do so. Here's what they would need to do. I'll talk about employers with policies through insurance carriers first, and then self-employed insurers. An employer with insurance policies through an insurance carrier who would like to add enhanced benefits to their paid family leave benefits policy should discuss their options with their insurance carrier. The carrier will file all required notifications of enhanced benefits with the Workers' Compensation Board. The board will review the policy to ensure the benefit is at least as favorable to statutory benefits and notify the carrier of its determination. Self-insured employers who would like to add enhanced benefits to their self-insured paid family leave benefit should contact their plan administrator, or if they do not have one, the Workers' Compensation Board to obtain the required documents. They or your plan administrator should email the completed documents to the board at pau@wcb.ny.gov. The board will review the benefit to ensure it is at least as favorable to statutory benefits and notify the employer of its determination. Employers wishing to offer enhanced benefits outside the parameters of paid family leave may do so without any notification to the Workers' Compensation Board. However, they are still required to maintain coverage for statutory paid family leave benefits and provide proof of coverage to the board either through their insurance carrier or directly if they are self-insured. For details for employers who want to provide a more generous paid family leave benefit are available on the employer section of the Paid Family Leave website. As you know, paid family leave has been live since January 1st, 2018. As we continue working closely with human resources professionals and employers to ensure successful implementation of paid family leave throughout New York State, there are a number of resources to help you. Complete details on paid family leave are available at paidfamilyleave.ny.gov, along with opt-in, request and waiver form, weekly deduction and benefit calculators, FAQs, and information on changes to paid family leave for 2019, which you can find via a link at the top of the website homepage. On the Updates for 2019 page, you'll find a number of employer resources to help you understand and communicate benefit and deduction changes for 2019. These include an overview of the changes, FAQs, an updated employee statement of rights, updated model language that you can use for your employee handbook or other written materials, a deduction calculator reflecting the 2019 rate, and a template you can use to notify employees of their payroll deduction amount. We strongly encourage you to inform employees of their deduction amount before the new rate takes effect. New York State has numerous other resources that human resources professionals can use and share with employees. Included a recorded webinar for employees to help them understand the benefit, who's eligible and how you take it, fact sheets and FAQs for employees, and a New York State paid family leave graphic you can add to your intranet or benefits portal to link to the paid family leave website. We also have 11 by 17 posters to promote awareness of paid family leave that you can order for your workplace. You and your employees can also contact the Paid Family Leave Helpline at 844-337-6303 for assistance Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you are not already subscribed for email updates on paid family leave, you can subscribe by clicking Get Updates on the bottom of the paidfamilyleave.ny.gov homepage. Finally, we also want to make you aware of the board's Advocate for Business. The Advocate for Business is the liaison between New York's business community and the Workers' Compensation Board, giving employers one place to contact for answers to their workers' compensation questions, as well as any questions employers may have about paid family leave as it relates to their business. You can contact Neil Gilberg, the Advocate for Business, at 518-486-3331 or neil.gilberg@wcb.ny.gov. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss New York's landmark paid family leave with you,